which is like not that hard to make. But you might get a heart attack, so please don't make it for yourself. Like, make it when there's like a lot of people coming over for dinner, so you can at least like share the clogged art. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like,
might as well kill everybody.
And I just wanted to point out, because it's a good transition, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in this room, Johnny is going to be doing like a workout. So come dressed in something you can move in, and I did it with him this morning. He tested it out on me. I think you guys should be able to handle it. I told him to amend a few things. He'd be like, "Do you think that's too hard?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's too hard." And he was like, "Oh, do you think you would do that?" I was like, "Let's do half that number." But I tried it out, and it's really great. It'll be really fun, and he's gonna incorporate a lot of like martial arts type of stuff in it because he has a background in that. So, you know, because I'm sure you know, it's a good thing to get some blood flow in, and you'll get a good start to the day. Anyway, so that's my weird segue, but tomorrow at 9 a.m., you know, after talking about clogging your arteries, I feel like it's a social justice that I have to promote that here. Okay, so, bacon mac and cheese pie. Do you guys want to know how I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so, the bacon mac and cheese pie is, the crust is bacon, and the middle is mac and cheese. So buy your bacon, and the bottom crust, it's a little tricky because I don't know if you know, when you make bacon, it shrinks.
Sure does.
Right? So you kind of, the bottom layer of crust is the hardest to do. And what I would do is I would suggest you get your pie tin, and I would suggest putting a pan underneath that pie tin, because in order to make the crust right, your bacon is going to kind of like hang over the sides of the pie tin a little bit when you lay it on, and as it cooks, it'll shrink so that it's normal sized, you know, like it'll be better. But in the meantime, the fat is going to drip down, and it'll drip down to the bottom of your oven, and that'll be a pain in the butt to clean up. So I would put your pie tin on another like tray. So you basically take bacon and you start layering it in the pie tin, right? And you can lattice it, you know, weave it, crisscross. I don't like do a great lattice, but I just crisscross a little bit. So then, and then you go in and then you bake it. This is where I am a cook and not a baking person, because I could not even tell you what temperature I put on the oven. But like somewhere like 325, like something like, you know, or like around 300. It's, you know, and I just keep an eye on it. So keep an eye on it. Before you put it in the oven though, put another pie tin on top of it so that it keeps its shape. Or else, when it shrinks and cooks, it's just gonna go, you're just gonna like a mess in, you know, it's not gonna look like a bottom of the crust, it's just gonna go, like this. It's gonna be really annoying. So you put another pie tin on top of it so it kind of keeps its shape as it's like shrinking and stuff. And I would just cook it until it's a good amount of crispiness that you like, but you don't want it fully cooked, because then you're gonna put the mac and cheese on it and then bake it again. So you just want it to shrink to the size, and you know, want it to get it cooked a little bit. Then on the stove top, you make your mac and cheese, which you can make your, you guys all like mac and cheese, right?
Yeah.
So you realize there are kind of like two schools of thought with mac and cheese. There's like a creamy mac and cheese school, and then there's like the dry mac and cheese school. I personally like a drier mac and cheese. I don't really like the soupy creamy stuff. So I would say you can make your mac and cheese however you want to make it. And if you want to just use the instant Kraft stuff, you can use the instant Kraft stuff, but you have to make it on the stove first. So I make my noodles, and then I put in a bunch of cheese. And even though I like my cheese dry, you have to have some kind of wet base. So I'll put a little cream in, and I usually put some goat cheese in, or a ricotta, something that a soft cheese that melts. And then I put all the stringy cheeses like the cheddar, the mozzarella, the Romano, and stuff like that. So once I get the mac and cheese to where I like it, then I put it I take off the weighted pie tin, and I put it inside the crust as the filling. And then I take the other, half the other bacon, and then I put it over the top, and I weave a lattice. And then I just put it back in the oven and bake it until the top crust is, the bacon crust is like nice and crispy and done. And then that's your mac and cheese pie. So, and it's just, all the fat from the bacon kind of gets infused into your mac and cheese. And it's really, really good. And depending on how adept you are at dealing with that bottom crust, sometimes it kind of falls apart, and other times it kind of stays together like a nice pie. But
Do you do breadcrumbs or anything of that?